Ochoa. And we've already got some creatures on the board.
Ochoa pensively looking at plains, swamp, and I can't tell what that is from here.
Yeah, it's a little. There's a. Is that a Slate Street Ruffian?
It is a gray ogre.
And a Daring Skyjack. And it looks like there was an attempt at a block, and Arrows of Justice came down to take out that Slate Street Ruffian. So JT has the lone non-land permanent in a Daring Skyjack.
What do you think about that? I mean, Slate Street Ruffian, is he
scary.
considered a powerhouse beater?
JT must be playing like 8 Arrows of Justice or something. Oh, no, just one.
Now he's been followed up with an Assault Griffin. Is that going to die as well?
Oh, it's just not going to do anything.
Jack got mad skills.
Yeah, so we've got a 6/1. Can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Madcap skills on a Daring Skyjack.
So,
looks like Ochoa is he just straight Orzhov? Looks like, yeah, plain swamps. Yep.
So let's see what's he got. He's gonna attack for 3. It looks like.
I see a Kingpin's Pet in his hand. Didn't get a good look at what else is there. Does he have a Gideon in there? I thought I saw a Gideon.
A Gideon? Let's look.
No, he does not. Okay. It was just the edge of the card. So he does play that Kingpin's Pet and does not attack with the Assault Griffin.
So perhaps going for Dub's block.
Yes, I believe he does probably want to take care of the 6/1 that's going to attack, and there it is. So there's the double block, and we've got a Boros Charm from Henricks, and you can kind of see why Henricks has such a good record with a.
What do you think he's going for? Indestructible
deck like this? Yeah, I imagine his guy's indestructible. David's guys are not, and again, we're left with a lone Daring Skyjack. Very skillful.
He's
Daring Skyjack.
Mad skills. What do we got here?
Nav Squad Commandos.
How do you feel about that guy?
I like it. I think it's a good card on defense unless your opponent has madcap skills and you have no other guys, which is David's current position.
It's not a very good guy.
It's gonna presumably just hang around. So there's another 6 from Henricks' Skyjack. And Ochoa should be down to 8, and there's a Hellraiser Goblin, and that's the 8 points.
How do you feel about the Hellraiser Goblin?
It's a scary card to play with. It's dangerous, but I like it. You know, in the decks I've seen it, it seems to not have done not have done too poorly.
I've seen a lot of post-combat hell raising. You know,
yeah.
We'll raise hell some future turn. So I mean, he has to at least absorb the 2, right? So that he doesn't die.
So that's the only block that Ochoa can make here is block the Hellraiser Goblin, and a massive raid for the final
massively deals
bits of
2
damage. And we've got a Grizzly Spectacle. I guess in response to the massive raid. Oh no, yeah. So he's actually just going to go to 1.
Wow, masterful play by Ochoa.
Yeah, that was unexpected. So massive raid does damage equal to the number of creatures you control. Henricks had 2 creatures, and Ochoa was on 2 life. So Ochoa saves his own life by making a Grizzly Spectacle of that Skyjack.
So is Ochoa going to come back here? Did he do it in time? I thought he actually went to 1 because no.
So he did it before damage.
No, he has to do it before damage because otherwise the 2/2 is going to be dead.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Absolutely right.
But wonderful play by Ochoa.
Yeah.
So Ochoa looks like he's got some spells left in hand. Can't tell which ones they are. Is that a slice?
It is.
Uh-oh.
So there's a
slice.
You lose 3 life and encoded onto the Nav Squad Commandos, who are going to get in for 3 and then another 3.
So infinity damages.
Right. So that was a 9 turn. Was it 11? It was 9.
He's at 11. Yeah, at 11. That's what I meant. So I think that we are going to see a comeback from David Ochoa. That was exciting. I thought he was going to get blown out.
It looked like it. Armored Transport from Henricks.
Armored Transport. How's that guy on defense?
He's not very good on defense.
Not nearly as good as he is on offense.
As good as a 2/1 is ever on defense. It's not that he can't block.
I mean, I think that he probably has to take this hit. Oh, what is this?
Holy mantle!
Is that proc creatures?
That's the. Shouldn't that be the 11? That's it, right? So we have. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not the 11.
No, he doesn't slice twice.
He slices once. I was counting the last turn. And
no, I
understand.
I understand.
Yeah. No, that should have left Henricks at 3, but I guess that was enough for the scoop. That was really cool.
I think that viewers at home can greatly learn from how David Ochoa played that game. He didn't play any massively powerful cards, right? Just like 1 point removal card. But what he did was he taxed JT Henricks turn after turn. He used a Boros Charm, could have been a lethal Boros Charm later to take out a couple of creatures.
Right.
And eventually, Ochoa got a powerful 2-for-1 against Madcap Skills, which is a very, very highly rated card.
Although I do say I think Henricks got a nice chunk of value out of that Madcap Skills. He hit for like
100 million damages.
Yeah,
yes.
So I mean the Madcap Skills did some work.
But the Madcap Skills guy with the Boros, he took down a Kingpin's Pet and an Assault Griffin. Those are 2 cards that you're really going to expect to see in commonly played in performing limited decks.
Sure.
And and yet, it really looked like Ochoa was on his heels the majority of the game, and then boom, comeback, and it was over.
Yeah, I think I was surprised by the Arrows of Justice on the Slate Street Ruffian.
I was really surprised.
Early on.
That's such a low priority creature.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like it mattered. But I think, judging by the rest of that game, Henricks' plan was, I'm just gonna put Madcap Skills on this one dude and try to just keep the board clear on the other side.
So you're saying that
he wanted
to just eliminate any
creature
sure.
that could block, he was just gonna kill it. So
But if he has Boros Charm, is that necessarily necessary?
Well, I mean, maybe he figured. I mean, I don't know how his hand actually looked when he planned it out, but I mean, putting the Madcap Skills. The way he ended up using the Boros Charm was pretty good. He used it to take out 2 guys. Right?
What he did.
So I wonder if that was his plan.
Reasonable usage of Boros Charm. I was more admiring how Ochoa kind of, performed a comeback.
Yeah.
So you watched this? Did you watch the Soul Malcolm match yesterday with me?
Yes.
Yeah. So at that point, I believe in round 8 or round 9.
Yeah, I think it was round 8. Couldn't have been round 9.
The first and only comeback I saw all day yesterday.
Right.
So that's another comeback. So
yeah, it was Ben Friedman playing Boros with. I believe he was straight Boros, but sided into black, so he had access to like Killing Glare and some Grizzly Spectacles, versus Salamanca playing an Orzhov deck, and just long story short,
with Dimir, he had Baloo. He had Dimir Charm.
It was mostly an Orzhov deck,
sure.
And he was at 8 life, and things weren't looking great, but he ended up that game extorting all the way up to 21 life.
So. I talked to Saul afterwards. Mm-hmm. We were on the same team together many years ago. Kind of came up together through the '90s, and from Saul's perspective, he was never behind. He's just like, I guess my life total was kind of low, but
I mean, 8's not that dangerous, but it didn't look good.
He's like 100 Extorters in play and all like cheap instants in his hand. He's like, I didn't really think that I was gonna lose.
He's probably like, that's how my deck works, right? So a Firefish Striker from Henricks, and that's the one that falters a creature on Battalion, but not something Ochoa has to worry about just yet. There's a Gutter Skulk from Ochoa.
Just a bear.
Looks like we've got a Grizzly Spectacle. It looks like Syndicate Enforcer. I think maybe another Gutter Skulk. Does he have 2? A lot of black cards in Ochoa's hand.
Okay.
He does have 2 Gutter Skulks, so I believe that was another one in his hand.
Time to raise some hell.
Yeah, so Gutter Skulk gets in the way of that Firefish Striker. I think that's a good call. Hellraiser Goblin there.
Yeah, because what would happen is that potentially, if that creature were still in play and the Hellraiser Goblin was online, JT Henricks might actually have Battalion the next turn.
Right, and then like David's maybe one guy or whatever couldn't block, or it could have turned out kind of poorly. In fact, I almost wonder if I were Henricks whether or not I would have attacked. Like I would have passed combat maybe and then played the Goblin, because Ochoa's just traded 2 Gutter Skulks for for both of Henricks.
At the time, he hadn't yet, right?
Sure. I don't know. I guess I just don't know if I like that completely aggressive plan when you've got something that I think is swingy as Firefist Striker can be.
So my opinion would be that just as Ochoa was discarding JT Henricks, probably thought that his hand might not develop,
Sure.
and he wanted to get cards out of his hand so that he could avoid discarding.
Right. I think so Ochoa stuck on 2 lands last turn, had to discard down to discard his Holy Mantle, but he does find a 3rd land there.
And he's got that ever powerful Slate Street Ruffian,
Yeah.
the drawer of Arrows of Justice.
Right, exactly. And it looks like a Night Watch from JT Henricks.
So is Slate Street Ruffian going to rumble in and then force a discard? Probably not, right?
I don't think so.
Hanging back on. This actually looks pretty bad.
Yeah,
for Ochoa.
double Night Watch. You're 2 lands behind.
Those guys have Vidge, right?
They do.
Yes. This is just no way out.
Yeah, two soldiers with vigilance versus a Slate Street Ruffian. We know Ochoa has Grizzly Spectacle, which he can't cast, and which isn't even that good. It's
cast it against
half a Night Watch, right?
I mean, this is like scraping the bottom of the barrel, right? Like, there's so many Night Watches we saw in sideboards yesterday.
Yeah,
we just didn't make the cut.
I think Night Watch is a good card in Boros.
I think that it's perfectly fine. I'm just saying that
we did see them in sideboards of Boros decks, and a Towering Thunderfist from Henricks after.
Pretty powerful. Right?
Yeah. The Ruffian jumps in front of or trades with 1 Knight. And now we have a Death's Approach for the Thunderfist, which is getting, I believe, -2/-2 right now. We have Hellraiser Goblin and the Firefist Striker in the graveyard. So, Sky Knight Legionnaire for Henricks. And we've got a 2/2 Towering Thunderfist, a 2/2 Vigilant Knight, and a 2/2 Flying Haste.
So JT
Legionnaire.
Henricks has got 2/2s at 0 mana, 3 mana, and 5 mana.
Yes.
He's got a variety of 2/2s.
We have a Balustrade Spy, which grinds, mills the top of your deck until you see a land, and I think for
It got 1 creature. It looks
I think
like
it's Sunhome Guildmage. That was quite a hit.
But it also reduces the size of the Towering Thunderfist, right?
Exactly. That's even better. So are we going to see another crazy comeback where Ochoa's stuck on lands early game?
Ochoa's now got the mana to cast Grizzly Spectacle, right?
Yes, he does.
So he could probably do some sort of sweetness mid-combats. So I think that
So Balustrade Spy is going to get in front of the
Arrows of Justice.
Legionnaire, and Arrows of Justice is going to take out the Spy, so to save the Legionnaire, and Ochoa's going to take 3 now.
I think that I would have been a bit more hesitant to run a block there because the block might get additional value if you can combine it with Grizzly Spectacle, maybe. But maybe not. If it's just like a freebie creature, then
Yeah.
taking out a Sky Knight Legionnaire is also very valuable.
Yeah, I probably would have made the same block, I think.
I might have. I think I've been a little hesitant. I thought about it for a second.
So I'm trying to see. It looks like there's at least a Kingpin's Pet in Ochoa's hand.
I believe there's an Assault Griffin.
I think I saw an Assault Griffin as well. Yeah, there it was. Henricks.
You know what? I think it's possible that Ochoa is just trying to value down the Towering Thunderfist. Oh well.
Wow. So Nav Squad Commandos comes down for Ochoa, and a
big
Angelic Edict gets it out of the way for Henricks, and we're going to game 3.
So David Ochoa was only at 7 life. And how much power was in play on JT Henricks' side?
He had the Knight, the 2/2 Knight, the 2/2 Legionnaire,
So
and so 2/4, and then it was just the Thunderfist was just 1 power.
But with Ochoa at 7 life, then that was just it's probably overload by 1, right, to win the game with the Martial Glory.
Sure.
So it's a +3, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 8. Yeah. So 1 more than Ochoa's life total.
Exactly.
All right, so perhaps David Ochoa will get a decent draw this game. He's had kind of really weak draw and even worse draw in the first 2 games we've seen.
Yeah, it's funny because the game there that he lost, I felt like he seemed to not Henricks wasn't providing or presenting as much of an offense as he was in the first game, but still quite an offense. I don't.
It's like
I mean,
offensive.
his first two guys were taken out pretty early. Like Ochoa was able to interact that way, so it was just you're stuck on lands and you've got several 4-mana spells in your hand.
These guys have done a very workmanlike job this weekend so far. Their decks are on the low end of the power level of some of the decks we've seen so far this weekend.
Sure.
You don't see a lot of decks performing at the top tables that have got Grizzly Bear, Gray Ogre,
Right.
as their frontline offense.
I think, you were with me. Luis's deck looked
my
absurd.
God, yeah.
It was like he just got the
He had
Boros
all the
theme
good
deck.
rares, right?
He had Boros Reckoner. He already, that's
Aurelia the
nice
War
of this guy.
Leader.
Aurelia, and he had Firemane Avenger. So he had 3 Boros rares.
Well, if
You're good Boros rares.
I mean, if you're gonna pick which ones you want, like Aurelia the War Leader is close to the best.
Right,
It's
I mean,
really high up there.
You might. I think you want Assemble the Legion more than you want Aurelia.
Aurelia's, Aurelia's Fury, I think I would value very highly
Sure.
if you're in the Boros colors. But I mean,
And even Foundry Champion, all those rares are good.
but Firemane Avenger only costs 4. It's pretty
Right.
easy to get it online with Battalion
If you're
building deck a
already,
certain way.
building a battalion deck, you have Avenger and Aurelia. That's pretty ridiculous. But we watched Luis lose, I think, 2-0, 0-2.
He
on
just
camera.
didn't.
He didn't draw it.
He
very
didn't
well at
ever
all.
kind of establish a game, and as I recall, he was never in a position where he even had Battalion to get his Firemane online.
So we're underway here. Henricks with the first spell of the game in a Skinbrand Goblin, turn 2, and an Orzhov Keyrune from Ochoa.
The Keyrunes have surprised me. I didn't think they would be particularly impressive constructed cards, but they've actually been pretty good, some of them. So,
We
Raising
have,
Hell. over on the other
Hellraiser
side.
Goblin over there. It's
In for
JT
4.
Henricks playing Goblins versus Orzhov.
And David Ochoa.
Goblin Assault.
Just a reminder.
A 5-drop. He's playing Accelerated Orzhov.
Yeah. So Nap Squad Commandos now threatening to get in the way of likely the Skinbrand Goblin. What do you get in front of here? What do you block? Skinbrand or
I think I blocked the 2-1.
Yeah, the Skinbrand. The Hellraiser Goblin. It's strange. It's a scary card, right? You're like, it's giving all his guys haste, but at the same time, it's making them attack. And if he's attacking with his little dudes into my big dude, I'm just gonna be the brick wall.
So look at this situation, right? Henricks has blown an Arrows of Justice to finish off the Commando.
Yes.
Now Ochoa merely has to play a creature that's bigger than 2/2, and he's going to get additional card advantage. And JT Henricks has missed his land drop.
Yeah. Also, that was a 2-for-1.
Yeah,
Nap Squad
sure.
Commandos just took the Skinbrand Goblin and the Arrows of Justice, and we've got a Basilica Guards for Ochoa. And while that won't kill the Goblin, it will keep the Goblin from doing.
I actually don't know that I would block.
No.
No.
Armored Transport.
Oh, now I
hasted.
would definitely block.
Yeah. So he's going to block the
Yeah, so-
Transport and take 2 from Hellraiser Goblin.
So, obviously you block because JT Henricks has tapped out.
Yeah, no Arrows of Justice.
Now, speaking of a 2-for-1, JT Henricks has missed his 4th land drop a couple of turns now.
And we're going to see
Yeah.
the card that you like.
Yeah, Purge the Profane is definitely going to get money if he plays it around now, and he can actually extort as well. So that can give him like a 3-point life swing. I think he probably wants to establish a creature that's larger than 2/2 in order to take out the Hellraiser Goblin kind of as a freebie.
He also, I believe, has Viscopa Confessor in hand.
Oh!
I think. He has it in the deck. I believe I saw it in his hand as well. And he's going to play Syndicate Enforcer, and I believe also get a little extort action out of it. And
Little
that is
drainy drain.
another extort creature as well.
So, between these two creatures, he's going to have some decent blocks, right?
Seems that way, yeah. So he's going to put the guards in front of the Transport and the Syndicate Enforcer in front of the Hellraiser Goblin.
Oh.
We've got a Martial Glory from Henricks.
Everybody
Looks like he's
lives.
going to power up the Transport to kill the guards and pump the toughness of the Hellraiser Goblin to let it survive. So that was a nice little 2-for-1.
Yeah, my guys live, your guys die.
Yeah, from Henricks.
I wonder how many cards J.J. Henricks has in hand.
He has, it seemed like quite a few. I want to say he has maybe 4 or 3. Looks like 4.
4, yeah, so.
He did hit his land drop that turn, by the way.
Does David Ochoa have Devour Flesh in hand? I think that's the card that I see.
Oh, yes, I believe. No, is that Devour Flesh or Grizzly Spectacle?
It looks like he's going to power up his Orzhov Key Rune for combat. So Orzhov Key Rune can become a 1/4 creature that has lifelink.
Yeah, so nice on defense, not so great on offense, but Ochoa's in a defensive position here, so I think that is Devour Flesh. Yes, it is.
So I think Henricks. Do you think he's likely to sacrifice the Hellraiser?
Yeah,
that's what
he does. Yeah, I think that's what I'd go with as well.
And then,
and so there's the Devour Flesh, and now he activates the Key Rune,
and blocks,
and it's going to gain a life. So that combat, not so good for Henricks.
Uh-oh.
And there's a Gideon. See, I thought I saw a Gideon. It was just I thought it was in Ochoa's hand.
This
in
is
game
a
1.
Serious problem.
Gideon pluses, and
So,
it really
David
it's
Ochoa
for
has
0.
So,
for 1 actually, because the Orzhov Key Rune is a creature right now when the Gideon was played.
So he gets 2, right? So it's a +1, and then David Ochoa has
1 creature.
1 creature, so it's essentially a +2. Starts on 4. Gideon, Champion of Justice.
There you see it up there.
A powerhouse card. So
some sick artwork too.
The 0 I think is a powerful ability. He just makes a gigundo guy.
Right, like next turn he's a 6/6, and that's plenty big. He could just stick with a 6/6.
Yeah, and I mean it's not like you can defeat him in combat.
Right. Yeah, even Ochoa wants to check out Gideon.
So Gideon's limit. I heard the term limit break this weekend. I'd never heard it before.
Haven't heard that before either.
Gideon's limit break, what folks like me used to call an ultimate.
That's what I say. Yeah.
Is Apocalypse.
Yeah, it's
exiles
-15.
all the permanents.
All other permanents, leaving just Gideon. I mean, I would love to see that.
But back in the day when we actually cast Apocalypse, you also had to discard your hand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you had Apocalypse, there's a Circle of Protection red in play. There weren't a lot of ways to get around it. Like, well, 5 mana and discarding my hand. We'll get rid of the Circle of Protection red.
Yeah, I guess that's what I gotta do.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so it looks like Key Rune's gonna jump in front of, or gonna attack Gideon.
Smash down.
Smash into Gideon. And Kingpin's Pet comes down for Ochoa. Gideon just a 5/5 when he attacks.
So
if Henricks chooses to do so.
Henricks could rumble in for 6, right? And then
he could.
He's got a massive raid, right? Uh-oh.
And there's a massive raid, so takes out the Kingpin's Pet. And Gideon does indeed become a 5/5, swinging in for 6 here, or 7, actually.
Ochoa now has a Grizzly Spectacle. So, Grizzly Spectacle can take out Gideon, that's correct, right? If Gideon's in creature mode.
Yes.
Because Gideon doesn't take damage in combat, but he's not indestructible.
Right, it's like, let me actually look at the text. He's, prevent all damage that will be dealt to him this turn. So, basically, once he becomes a creature, you just prevent all damage, but you're right, he's not indestructible.
So, I think that David Ochoa can perhaps walk J.T. Henricks into a spot where he's attacking once again with the champion of all justice, and kind of gets him with Grizzly Spectacle. What do you think about that, Joseph?
I think that's what Ochoa's going to have to do. Now, I don't know if he have the Spectacle. I thought I saw it, but it was a Devour Flesh.
A Devour Flesh would not
No.
easily get him. I think it would get the Armored Transport.
Right. Oh, yeah, he is indestructible. I skipped that word. So, Champion of Justice becomes an indestructible human soldier creature with power and toughness equal to the number of loyalty. I saw, okay, power, toughness equal to loyalty. He's still a Planeswalker. Prevent all damage is where I started.
Oh, so he's very, very indestructible.
Yes, so...
the old Gideon
the old Gideon
wasn't indestructible.
Okay. Well, in that case, Grizzly Spectacle not gonna work.
So he's gonna have to get him with Devour Flesh somehow, right? Oh, I mean, he can just.
He used his one Devour Flesh already.
Oh well.
Yeah, he's not gonna get him with Devour Flesh. I think the Scopa Confessor comes down and.
This is very troubling.
Yeah, it looks
if you're
like
David Ochoa.
Looks like a Rumble Belt Raiders went away.
Yeah,
but
discarded to the Viscopa
Confessor.
Ochoa can still attack Gideon down. He's only a 5/5 right now. Although, if JT Henricks uses the plus ability, it's going to be 6/6 or greater.
Yeah. So, looks like another 7. Ochoa should be at 1 here. And Towering Thunder Fist. Armored Transport is a 2 power, right?
I believe so. No, the Gideon only attacks for 5.
Alright, so 5 plus 2 is 7.
Yeah.
Wasn't Ochoa just at 8? 8 minus 7 isn't 2. I'm just confused. Maybe there was an extort we missed? Like earlier? Maybe
on the Visco. No.
No, it wasn't on the because I don't know when it was, but the life totals are.
Are these accurate life totals?
Okay, we're checking on the accuracy of the life totals. I mean, maybe the 8 wasn't accurate.
Someday we will learn.
Yeah, Ochoa is in quite the position here.
The pickle.
Yeah, he's got.
He can live through it because lifelink is applied.
Right. Maybe we missed a lifelink trigger. I mean, he did attack Gideon at 1 turn. Maybe that was a lifelink that was missed on the life total. That might be what the where the missing point is. Maybe that wasn't adjusted on screen.
Is Ochoa got Angelic Skirmisher?
Yeah, I think he does. I think it's in his hand.
Has he got
Is it in his hand?
Angelic Edict?
He does have 1 Angelic Edict, and
that would be
it's
effective
possible
against
that
Gideon.
that's in his hand. I'm a lot of tanking there from Ochoa. Yeah. Edict's not going to take out Gideon because Gideon's only a creature during Henricks' turn, and Edict is a sorcery. So even Angelic Edict isn't going to work against.
You could just get him in Planeswalker mode, no?
It's exile a target creature or enchantment.
Oh. Yeah, not a lot of options then.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of each combat, Angelic Skirmisher can give lifelink, right? First strike, etc.
Yes.
So Ochoa's actually, he's not done yet.
Yeah, he's putting up quite a fight here. It's pretty exciting.
If Viscopa Confessor is likely to jump in front of Gideon, I think, not die, and I'm sorry, Ochoa won't die.
Right.
And he'll gain a little bit of life. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, so it looks like just Gideon and the Towering Thunderfist gain vigilance there. So we've got a Thunderfist and a Gideon attacking. He's not attacking with the transport. Am I reading that correctly, or did I just miss that?
I believe that's correct.
Doesn't look like it's pushed up into the red zone. It's also not tapped.
That actually changes the correct play. I believe Ochoa will give first. Oh, I don't know. Does he have to choose what the Skirmisher's ability is?
He has
prior
to choose
to
it prior to combat.
Yeah.
So that's what. So Ochoa chose the ability. We don't know what was chosen.
He must have chosen lifelink.
Yeah, I assume he chose lifelink.
Because if given the opportunity, the correct play here is first strike, right?
You take out the Thunderfist.
You take out the Thunderfist and then chump Gideon.
Chump the Gideon, and so he did choose lifelink.
Yeah, lifelink was actually definitely chosen.
So the Angel's going to get in front of the Thunderfist. That's going to be 4. He is he's going to go to 1 here then. So he goes up to 6, loses 5 from the Gideon damage, and should go to 1. And we have a Firefist Striker and a Wojak Halberdiers. Henricks is empty-handed, but quite the strike force.
I'm just checking to make sure that David Ochoa doesn't have Merciless Eviction.
Yeah, it's like Wrath of God, right?
But even if he had Merciless Eviction, that's no solution to Gideon, right?
It is a solution to Gideon. You can choose Planeswalkers, although that doesn't
No,
get
but
him
that
out of the
doesn't get rid of
situation.
the
Right?
other three
No,
guys, like-
right? It's a solution to Gideon. That's it.
He doesn't have that.
He's not in a good position. Wow, Gideon, pretty impressive. He one activation of his plus, and then since then has just been a
rumbling.
Dude, yeah. And Foundry Champion's just gonna straight out kill Ochoa. So Henricks 2-1 defeats David Ochoa here in the final
the suicide
the suicide
round.
round. I guess you don't call it the final round, but or the